Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn a chapter force and pressure. What is a force? A stationary object on which no force is acting remains stationary, as we know. An object in motion continues to move with the same speed and direction when no force is acting on the object. This is Newton's first law of motion. Two types of force, contact and non-contact force, we are going to learn. See, in this figure, a car moves in forward direction when a man applies force from behind. A reluctant dog is being pulled by his master, and a boy playing football is kicking the ball away. What do you observe? A force acts on the two bodies through an interaction between them. This force is seen to act through a direct contact of the object or via one or more objects. Such a force is called contact force. See, here in this figure, another example. A coconut is falling from the coconut tree. Objects are attracted to the earth due to the force of gravity. When a comb gets rubbed against hair, small pieces of paper kept on a table get attracted to the comb. This is due to the electrostatic force. This is a force is applied between two objects even if the two objects are not in contact. Such a force is called a non-contact force. Muscular force is an example of contact force, whereas the forces like magnetic force, gravitational force, electrostatic force are examples of non-contact forces. Now we see about friction. When a ball is kept on a table and pushed a little, it moves ahead and gets slow and stops. This is because of the force of friction between the ground surface and the object in motion. In the absence of friction force, the object would have remained in the motion. Frictional force is very useful in daily life. We can walk easily on the floor, on the ground, due to the fact of frictional force. Otherwise, we will get slip. Here we perform some experiment. Take two plastic bottles with rectangular shape. Close their openings by fitting the lids tightly. Keep two small bar magnets on them and fix them neatly using a sticking tape. Fill a big plastic tray with water and leave the two bottles floating with magnets at the top. Take one bottle near the other. If the north pole of the magnet is near the south pole of the other magnet is near the south pole of the other magnet, the bottle will head towards each other because unlike poles attract each other. What will happen when the directions of the bottles are changed? We can see that the motion of the bottles is without any direct contact. This means that there exists a non-contact force between the two magnets. Now, balance and unbalanced force has effect like this. If several forces are applied on an object in the same direction, a force equal to their addition acts on that object. If two forces are applied on one object in directions opposite to each other, a force equal to their difference acts on the object. A force is expressed in magnitude and direction, so that is why force is a vector quantity. When a force is applied on a stationary object, it moves. Its speed and direction changes. Similarly, a force is required to stop an object in motion. An object can change its shape due to force. Here you can see a potter applies a force in a specific direction with shaping the pot. A rubber band when stretched expands. These are the examples. Now we look at inertia. Inertia is nothing but the tendency of an object to remain in its existing state is called its inertia. We have seen that an object changes its state of motion due to force. In the absence of a force, object exhibit a tendency to remain in its existing state of motion. Let us see an experiment. Activity you can do at your home also. Take a postcard and keep it on a glass. Keep a 5 rupee coin on it. Now skillfully push the card. The coin straight away falls in the glass. Have you ever done this? This happens due to the inertia. Now we are going to learn about pressure. Take some sharp pointed nails and push them into a wooden plank by hammering on their heads. Now take a nail and hold it with its head on the plank and hammer it down from the pointed end. When pressing the drawing pins into a drawing board, they get into the board easily. By applying a force using the thumb, one can push the pins into the board. On the contrary, while pressing ordinary pins into the board with the thumb may get hurt. What does this simple thing tell us? The nail easily penetrates into wood from its pointed end. From this, you can give a conclusion that when a force is applied on the head of the nail, it is easy to hammer it into the plank. Or other example is, it is easy to cut vegetables, fruits with a sharp knife. A blunt knife does not work here. Why this happens? Because it happens due to the pressure. So pressure can be defined as the force exerted perpendicularly on a unit area is called pressure. So pressure is equal to force upon area on which the force is applied. It is SI unit of force is Newton. Area is measured in meter square. Therefore, SI unit of pressure is Newton per meter square. It is known as Pascal. In atmospheric science, the unit of pressure is bar. 1 bar is equal to 10 raised to 5 Pascal. Pressure is a scalar quantity. If area increases, pressure reduces for the same force, and if the area decreases, the pressure increases for the same force. Now we are going to learn about atmospheric pressure. Air surrounds the earth from all sides. This layer of air is called atmosphere. The atmosphere exists to about 16 km height. The pressure created due to the air is called the atmospheric pressure. The air pressure at the sea level is called 1 atmosphere pressure. Air pressure decreases as one goes up in the height from the sea level. Atmospheric pressure is specified in the units mbar or hectopascal. What is buoyant force? The concept of buoyant force. You can see here an experiment. As you see in the figure, the empty plastic bottle floats on the surface of water. On the contrary, the bottle full of water floats inside water but does not go to the bottom. The weight of the empty bottle is negligible as compared with the weight of the water inside. Such a bottle with water neither floats on the surface nor does it go to the bottom. This means the force due to the gravity acting downwards must have been balanced by an opposing force in the upward direction on the bottle filled with water. This force must have originated from the water surrounding the bottle. The upward force acting on the object in water or other fluid or gas is called buoyant force. It becomes easier to swim in a seawater than in a fresh water. This is because the density of seawater is higher than the density of fresh water due to salts dissolved in seawater. Buoyant force depends on two factors. One is volume of the object and second is density of liquid. Now we will learn about Archimedes principle. What is Archimedes principle? The Archimedes principle states that when an object is partially or fully immersed in a fluid, a force of buoyancy acts on it in the upward direction. This force is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the object. The use of Archimedes principle is very wide. This principle has been used in the construction of ships and submarines. The instruments such as lactometer, hygrometer are based on this principle. Density. Density is a ratio of mass and volume. Mass upon volume is equal to density. The SI unit of density is kilogram per meter cube. The relative density is a ratio of density of substance and density of water. It is relative density is equal to density of substance upon density of water. This ratio has no unit. So relative density has no unit and it is also known as specific gravity. Thank you.